What's going on, everybody? Jim Johnson here for another episode of Dr. Johnson's Trumpet Playlogs. And let me be the first to welcome you to my office. Normally, we would record these in the recital hall, but it is officially cold in Northeast Ohio, and my office is just a little bit warmer, which for me makes me a lot happier. So, let's get to today's topic. Alright, so today's topic is going to be a continuation of our articulation little mini-series on the channel, specifically the triple tonguing. Now, before we go any further, if you've not watched the previous video, please pause and go watch that video, as that discusses a little bit more about the basics of multiple tonguing, the different syllables we use, and how to incorporate them in your daily practice. For triple tonguing, we have the issue of everything being grouped into threes while still only using two syllables. So there's two mainstream methods we use for patterns when we're dealing with triple tonguing. The first is front, back, front, or 2-ku-2. The second is a front, front, back, 2-2-ku method. I personally use the front, back, front just because that's how I was taught and how I was raised. The front, front, back is also a viable option. What I tell my students is that whichever is easier for you is the one you should use. The goal doesn't change, which is smoothness of articulation, consistency of the clarity of articulation to ensure that the musical line is not hindered by a complication. As with all of our practice, a couple things to keep in mind. Number one, set realistic expectations for each practice session and your long term. Again, if this is something that's new for you, it's going to take a little bit of time for you to get comfortable, and that's okay. Number two, slow and steady wins this race. Cannot stress that enough. Take everything slowly to ensure you are doing it properly before you start adding any speed. So with that, let's get to the exercises. All right, let's do our video recap. Number one, there's two main methods for using triple tonguing patterns. The first is putting the back syllable in the middle. The other option is putting the back syllable at the end. It is totally user preference. Just make sure you stay consistent with it every time you practice. Number two, continue to practice the syllables separately from each other to ensure that they both sound as much the same as possible. Number three, set realistic expectations in your practice. Number four, always start slowly to ensure you have proper triple tonguing form. Add the tempo later. And lastly, always, always under the umbrella of the most beautiful sound that you can play with. And that's the video. Remember, like and subscribe for more content. Also, feel free to check out our Akron Trumpet Studio Facebook and Instagram for up-to-date content about the studio and upcoming audition dates.